Good evening, everyone, and welcome to St. Croix Falls for today's Heart of the North Conference matchup between the Unity Eagles and the St. Croix Falls Saints. We're looking forward to a good game here tonight, and hopefully you are as well. Just trying to get things all set up and ready for us here. All right, so it is the Unity Eagles in town and taking on the St. Croix Falls Saints. We're about 10, 12 minutes away from starting or opening pitch here in just a few minutes. Unity's just finishing up their ins and outs out on the field, and then there will be a coaches meeting at the plate with the officials, and then we'll be ready to go with starting lineups and national anthem here in St. Croix Falls. Another beautiful day, a little crisp, a little cool, a lot of sweatshirts out there on the field today, but we are dry and we are thankful for that. And so it should be a good one here in St. Croix Falls. These two teams come into today, both seeing some good success. This is the first year of the Heart of the North Conference for the Unity Eagles, and so they're 6-6 here on the season so far, but a good season for them, and looking forward to a good one here. St. Croix Falls 10-1 on the season, undefeated in the Heart of the North Conference. These two teams did face off already once at Unity, and it was St. Croix Falls who picked up a 10-0 shortened game win with 5 innings with the 10-run rule in effect. On the mound today for the Saints will be Brett Sladkey, and on the mound for the Eagles will be number 22 Henry Christensen. Christensen, a sophomore on the season, got pretty good numbers. He comes in with a 1-0 record. He's pitched 24 innings, has a 4.89 ERA. He's only walked 6 and he's struck out 24. For Brett Sladkey and the Saints, Sladkey has a 2-0 record. He's only pitched just over 11 innings. He has a .6 ERA, and he's walked 4 and struck out 11. We'll go over more of those stats as we get closer here to starting lineups and national anthem, and then first pitch coming up here right around 5 o'clock on We Are SCF. Whether you're tuning in cheering for the Eagles or you're cheering for the Saints, we're glad you're here and a part of today's contest. We're do our best to highlight all the athletes out there on both teams, and we're looking forward to a great game here this afternoon. Always fun when these two schools face off, whether it's football, basketball, volleyball, wrestling, or baseball here. It is always good. And for soccer, these two teams actually combined forces. So just a few minutes left here as the Eagles finish up their ins and outs, and then we'll have our coaches meeting, starting lineups, national anthem, and then opening pitch coming up here in about 9 minutes. Thanks for tuning in here on We Are SCF. All right, welcome back once again here to St. Croix Falls for tonight's Heart of the North conference matchup between the Unity Eagles and your St. Croix Falls Saints. Just getting ready here. We got the coaches meeting happening at home plate, and then it'll be starting lineups, national anthem, and opening pitch coming up here in just a few minutes. Thanks for tuning in and watching here on We Are SCF. Again, the Unity Eagles come in today with a 6-6 overall record, and this is their first year into the Heart of the North, doing a great job this year as their inaugural year into the conference. St. Croix Falls 10-1 in the Heart of the North, or in overall, undefeated in the Heart of the North. They lost to River Falls in a close game a few weeks ago. On the mound for the Eagles will be Christensen, Henry Christensen, the sophomore. For the Saints, it'll be the junior, Brett Sladke. These two teams faced off earlier this season. St. Croix Falls got the 10-0 victory. But we know this is going to be a good one. It always is a good one when these two teams get together and play. Very familiar with one another. So we'll be ready to roll in just a moment. As always, thank you to our sponsors for making these broadcasts possible. You see those sponsors scrolling across the bottom of the screen. We're thankful for them. Looks like coaches meeting is wrapping up here. We'll have starting lineups and national anthems coming up in just 1 minute. All right, we are ready to roll. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome to St. Croix Falls for tonight's Heart of the North conference matchup between the Unity Eagles and the St. Croix Falls Saints. Now here are your starting lineups. First for the visitors, the Unity Eagles. Behind the plate, number 2, Archer Chell. In center field, number 4, Brian Bance. At shortstop, number 17, Uriah Fugate. At third base, number 7, Isaiah Fugate. In left field, number 9, Xavier Nadeau. Second base, number 6, Dakota Hayden. Pitching for the Eagles, number 22, Henry Christensen. In right field, number 8, Bryson McKenzie. And at first base, number 31, Trapper Schlusner. And now, here are your starting lineups for your St. Croix Falls Saints. At shortstop, number 12, Carter Ridgway. Pitching today for the Saints, number 10, Brett Sladke. Out in center field, number 3, Alex Hoff. Behind the plate, number 8, Brody Allram. At first base, number 2, Kyle Olson. In right field, number 23, Drake Peterson. At second base, number 5, Elliott Wilson. At third base, number 9, Devin Richardson. And in left field, number 1, Carson Marks. Now would you please rise if able and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to roll here in St. Croix Falls. Brett Sladkey on the mound for the Saints, making his way out there, and he'll be throwing to Brody Allram behind the plate. Again, these two teams faced off earlier this year. It was 10-0 was the uh, score. St. Croix Falls getting a quick victory. But I know these two teams love to face each other and would love to uh, get the W here tonight. So it's going to be a good, I believe, tightly contested game here tonight between these two teams. We're looking forward to it coming up here in just a few seconds. Leading off for the Eagles is going to be number 2, Archer Chell. Leading off for the Eagles, number 2, Archer Chell. So Chell comes to the plate now for the Eagles. In defense for the Saints, it'll be Richardson at short, Ridgway at, I'm sorry, Richardson at third, Ridgway at short, Wilson at second, and Olson at first. Marks, Hoff, and Peterson out in the field. First pitch was fouled back for strike one. Second pitch bounced in front of the plate for ball one. So 1-1 is our count here. Again, it's Sladkey on the mound and Chell at the plate for the Eagles. Fouled back again. So 1 ball, 2 strikes is our count. Missed 2-2 now is the count. Staying alive with the foul ball is Chell. So 2-2 remains our count. On deck is Brian Bantz for the Eagles. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Throw down to first base in time for out number 1. So Sladkey picks up his first strikeout of the afternoon. Now batting for the Eagles, number 4, Brian Bantz. So Brian Bance now comes to the plate. One out here. And the bunt. Nice bunt. Sladkey throws to first base in time, but it gets past Olson. So I can't see very well over here. The throw is there, but it went off the tip of Olson's glove. It was kind of up the line a bit. And that'll bring up number 17. Now batting number 17, Uriah Fugate. So the shortstop Fugate comes to the plate with one runner on after the error. So one on, one out for Fugate. Uriah, a freshman, takes strike one on the outside corner. Slatke came with the fastball on that one. I'll try to keep an eye over there on Brian Bance at first base, let you know if he's moving or not. Slatke looking right at him. Now he settles back in, stays put, and the ball is hit to the shortstop. Wilson bobbles it, throws to first, not in time. And so safe at first as well. So runners at first and second now, and that's going to bring up Isaiah Fugate. Now batting for the Eagles, number 7, Isaiah Fugate. So 2 errors here for the Saints, put 2 on for the Eagles. And the Eagles leading hitter takes a swing and a miss. Isaiah Fugate batting .524 for the season. He has 4 home runs, 18 RBIs, and has walked 4 times. Takes inside, strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes now to Fugate. Fall ball hits it over to the dugout area. 0-2 remains the count. Runners at first and second here. Only 1 out for the Eagles. Good opportunity here for the Eagles to get things going. Up high, ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Bance and Uriah Fugate are the 2 base runners for the Eagles. Isaiah at the plate, swings and misses. Strike 3, got him swinging for out number 2. The second strikeout for the day for Sladkey. Now batting number 9, Xavier Nadeau. So big strikeout there for Sladkey. Ball gets past Brody Allram and is going to allow both runners now to move into scoring position here. Up high, now 1-1. There's a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Scoring opportunity here for the Eagles. 2 runners in scoring position. And strike 3 is called. So Sladkey gets 3 strikes or 3 strikeouts for the inning and puts himself in a good position here as he picks up his 3rd strike and sends the offense to the dugout. And we will have the Saints coming up here next. It's going to be Ridgway, Sladkey, and Hoff leading off for the Saints in the bottom of the 1st. Again, leading off for the Saints, it'll be Ridgway, and then Sladkey, and then Hoff. Brett Sladkey did a great job there. He had 2 errors behind him, allowing 2 runners on, and then a pass ball allowed runners to move into scoring position. And then, but Sladkey took things into his own hands and picked up 3 strikeouts. Christensen on the season, he is 1-0. He's pitched 24 innings. He has a 4.89 ERA. He's walked only 6 and struck out 24. So a nice season so far for the sophomore for the Eagles. Leading off for the Saints, number 12, Carter Ridgway. So Carter Ridgway making his way to the plate now for the Saints. He's done a good job at the leadoff position this season. He's got on base. He uses his speed. He's leading the team in stolen bases. Also has a home run. Down low, ball 1. Pretty stiff wind coming in today. Looks like it's coming from center to left field. Watch any pop-ups to see what that's going to do to the ball. Ridgway pops one up just like that on cue out to center field, under it, and making the catch. Now batting for the Saints, number 10, Brett Sladkey. So Brett Sladkey now coming to the plate after the fly out. Sladkey starting pitching here to this afternoon oftentimes finds himself over at third base, but this time he punches it out to left field, and that's going to get past the left fielder, allowing Sladkey to use that speed to check in at second base for a nice double. Now batting for the Saints, number 3, Alex Hoff. So Alex Hoff now comes to the plate. He leads the Saints in hitting. He's batting .586. He's got 6 home runs, no strikeouts, and 11 walks. On deck is Brody Allram for the Saints. Pitches down low for ball 1. Hoff now takes strike 1, so 1-1 now. Hoff has really been swinging the bat well this season. Again, batting .586. 6 home runs so far this season. Hits that one down the third base line. It gets past the diving Fugate, and that's going to bring in Sladkey to score. Now batting for the Saints, number 8, Brody Allram. So Hoff able to get another RBI to add to his totals here. Swing and a miss, strike one. Brody Allram, not far behind Hoff. He's batting .571. He's got 3 RBIs, 10 walks, and 4 Ks. 14 RBI. Finds himself behind, no balls, 1 strike here. Now he hits it out to center field. Under it, making the catch is Bance. And that'll bring up Kyle Olson. Now batting for the Saints, number 2, Kyle Olson. So 2 outs here after the flyout. 2 flyouts so far to center field. Bance has been busy out there in center field, picks up those first 2 putouts. Kyle Olson now at the plate. Kyle's got a couple home runs on the season. Shortstop makes a good throw over to first, not in time though. And that's going to bring up Drake Peterson. Now batting for the Saints, number 23, Drake Peterson. So Drake Peterson comes to the plate now. Runners at first and third. Hoff over there at third. Kyle Olson over there at first after the single. See what they do here with Kyle at first. See if they take off running. See what defensive play we have on here. Runner goes, throw up high, they throw down to second base, and Olson checks in with a stolen base. And now runners at first and third. So 2 runners in scoring position here. Drake Peterson, who also has a home run, hit one last game here in St. Croix. First 5 batters of the St. Croix Falls batting order have home runs. 13 of them total. Out in front of it as Peterson just kind of stuck the bat out there, fouled it back. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Elliott Wilson on deck. St. Croix Falls have 1 across here, trying to get a couple more. Base hit likely would score 2. And he got him looking as he comes with a fastball, strikes him out. So a nice job there by Christensen. And we'll head to the second inning. Saints lead 1-0.
At Burnett Medical Center, we understand that urology concerns can feel overwhelming. That's why we offer advanced surgical care with a personal touch, right here in your community. From kidney stones to prostate health, we're here to provide clear answers, expert treatment, and compassionate care every step of the way. Together, we'll help you move forward with comfort and confidence.
So Sladkey back out on the mound for the Saints. He had 3 strikeouts in the first inning, got himself out of a bit of a jam as he had runners at second and third, but was able to pick up those big strikeouts to put an end to it. Leading off the second for the Eagles, number 6, Dakota Hayden. Hayden takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Sladkey comes right back to it, picks up another strike. And now comes with the heat and blows it past him for strike two. So no balls, 2 strikes. That's something that we saw Christensen do to get Peterson. Came with he had thrown off speed, and then came back with a quick fastball that came right down the middle of the plate and froze Peterson for the third out of that bottom of the first inning. And strike three is called. Now batting number 22, Henry Christensen. So Sladkey picks up another strikeout here. Find ourselves in the top half of the second inning. 1 out, nobody on. Saints with a 1-0 lead. Ball's popped up to second base. Elliott Wilson under it. Makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Now batting number 8, Bryson McKenzie. So Bryson McKenzie now comes to the plate for the Eagles. Sladkey trying to make this a quick top of the second inning. Ball 1. Sladkey disgusted at his pitch there. But as soon as it left his hand, you heard him go, ah. Finds the strike zone again with that one. 1-1 now is the count. Down low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. It's 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the second. Staying alive, following it back is McKenzie. 2-2 is our count. Foul over to the coach. Makes a good play. Throws to pitcher, not in time. Sladkey delivers for strike 3. So another strikeout for Sladkey, and the Saints will head now to the bottom of the second. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on, and 2 strikeouts for Sladkey. We'll be back after word from the Air Force in just a second.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard. Know what I mean?
All right, ready for the bottom of the half of the second inning for the Saints. It'll be Wilson, Richardson, and Marks, the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Saints. Back on the mound for the Eagles is Christensen. Did a nice job in that first inning and really limited the damage there to just that 1 run. He had a big strikeout of Drake Peterson there to end the inning as he put it right down the heart of the plate and froze up Drake. Now batting for the Saints, number 5, Elliott Wilson. So Wilson now comes to the plate for the Saints. He's the second baseman this afternoon, as most days. If he's not at second, he'll find himself on the mound. Who knows, we might see an Elliott Wilson sighting on the mound here before this game is completed. I don't know what the pitching progression will be here for the Saints, but Elliott Wilson takes strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike. Now he pops it up down the third base line. We'll see if there's enough room for to be playable. Out of play. So no balls, 2 strikes now. Devin Richardson on deck for the Saints. Again, no balls, 2 strikes. 2 strikes. Christensen takes his sign. Now comes set. And Elliott Wilson hits it out to center field, and Bance can't quite hold on to it as it dropped just before the sliding Bance. Now batting for the Saints, number 9, Devin Richardson. Don't know if Bance ever got a glove on it or not out there in center field as he was sliding. He had the glove out, and I think it dropped just before his glove. Strike 1 now. Devin takes on the outside corner. Christensen has really changed up his velocity here. Some of his curveballs have been quite slow, and it's really caught the Saints off guard. And then he comes back with that fastball, and he got Peterson on it. And that time, Richardson looked like he was a little fooled by that quick fastball. Christensen doesn't go from the windup, whether bases were empty or loaded or anybody on. Stays in the stretch. This one's going to go up the middle. Could be 2. Out at second and out at first. So 2 outs on a big double play started by Fugate. Now batting for the Saints, number 1, Carson Marks. So Carson Marks comes to the plate now for the Saints. He's the 9 batter this afternoon. Christensen gets helped out by the pitcher's best friend, the double play. From Fugate to Hayden over to first base with Schlusner. 1 ball, no strikes. The count. Swing and a miss, strike 2. I'm sorry, strike 1. 1-1 is the count. Fouls it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, Carson's trying to hold back on that slower off-speed pitch from Christensen. See what he does, what Christensen does here. Oftentimes he's followed up that slower off-speed pitch with something with some velocity behind it. See what he does here. He does, and he gets the strikeout as Carson Marks swings and misses. So we'll head to the 3rd inning now, where the Saints lead 1-0. as we make our way back here in St. Croix Falls. It's St. Croix Falls who has a 1-0 slim lead here in the top of the third inning. Slatke on the mound for the Saints. See, this junior is having a good day this afternoon as he just whips that one past his catcher, Brody. He's struck out 5 so far in the first 2 innings. Leading off the third for the Eagles, number 31, Trapper Schlusner. So the first baseman makes his way to the plate now for the Eagles. Slatke delivers, and it's popped up. Shortstop Carter Ridgway calls, makes the catch, and 1 up, 1 down. That's going to bring up Archer Chell. Now batting for the Eagles, number 2, Archer Chell. So Archer Chell comes to the plate. He struck out in the first inning. Swings and hits it over to the third baseman. Devin Richardson has it go past him. And that'll be a 1-out runner here for the Eagles. Now batting for the Eagles, number 4, Brian Bance. So we'll get a courtesy runner here for the pitcher. There's 1 out here. I don't know if that's going to be considered an error or a hit. Ball's fouled back into the parking lot. So it was an error on the third baseman, Richardson. One now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. Runner at first base. See if I can see who the courtesy runner is over there. Fouled back into the parking lot again. Courtesy runner is number 1, Adrian Olson. So Olson over there at first base. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Brian Bance. Bance reached on an error by the first baseman in the first inning. Swings and fouls it out of play. Kind of a, excuse me, swing there by Bance. Bance did a nice job out in center field. A couple putouts already. Had a nearly spectacular diving or sliding catch out there in center field in the last inning. Kind of a swinging bunt here to second base. Out there, not at first though, so 1 out is recorded. Now batting number 17, Uriah Fugate. So 2 outs here with the shortstop Fugate at the plate. Runner at first on the fielder's choice by Fugate. Popped up. Kyle Olson might have room. Looks like it's out of play. So 1 strike. One strike to the freshman Fugate. Up high, throw to first base. Not in time. Olson was playing up shallow. They had Adrian Olson off the base quite a bit, but uh, he was able to get back in time. So 1-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch up high, ball 2. 2-1 now. Ball's hit up the middle. So they're going to have both runners on because of it hitting the umpire, I believe. Now batting, number 7, Isaiah Fugate. So the explanation was that if it hits the umpire, it's a dead ball, and the base, everyone just gets to go one base. So I don't know how to mark that necessarily, but that's what it is. Good scoop there by Brody, and no swing. So 2 balls, 1 strike. So if a hit or a batted ball hits the umpire in fair territory, it's a dead ball right away. The batter is rewarded first base, and the other runners only advance if they're forced. And then that's going to be a walk. So bases loaded now here for the Eagles. Now batting, number 9, Xavier Nadeau. So Sladkey's got himself in a situation here, a awkward situation, or I shouldn't say awkward, a strange way to get there. But he did nonetheless, and strike 1 is to Nadeau. Nadeau struck out to end the first inning. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Ball is popped out of play down the first base line. Out of play. So count remains no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Be a good time for Sladkey to get his 6th strikeout. And he does right there. Strike 3. Sladkey gets a big one. Eagles leave the bases loaded, and we're ahead to the bottom of the 3rd. Saints still up 1-0. All right, Christensen back on the mound, or still on the mound for the Eagles. It's going to be top of the order coming up for the Saints, Ridgway, Slatke, and Hoff. Leading off the third for the Saints, number 12, Carter Ridgway. So Ridgway comes to the plate now for the Saints. Saints fortunate to get out of that jam there in the top half of the third inning. Bases loaded, but Slatke gets a big strikeout to end the inning. So Christensen back out there on the mound. Saints would love to put a 1 or 2 or a crooked number up there on the board here in this third inning. Strike one. Nice pitch there by Christensen. Been impressed here with Christensen's control. He's been right around the strike zone the entire night. He's done a really good job of switching up his speeds. There he comes with a slow curveball and drops it across for strike two. So no balls, 2 strikes here to the leadoff hitter, Ridgway. Up the middle, and that's going to be right where there's nobody there, and Ridgway checks in. Now batting for the Saints, number 10, Brett Slatke. So Slatke comes to the plate now for the Saints. Runner at first base is Carter Ridgway. He does lead the team in stolen bases. Slatke wants to help himself out here. Ridgway checks back to first in time. Runner goes, throw to second base, not in time. As Ridgway checks in, standing up. So runner at second base now. Slatke at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Christensen looks in, delivers up high, 2 balls. Alex Hoff on deck for the Saints. I lied earlier, by the way. I said the first 5 batters had home runs. Slatke does not have a home run yet this year, but he is hit by a pitch. And that'll bring up Alex Hoff. Now batting for the Saints, number 3, Alex Hoff. So Alex Hoff comes to the plate. So 5 of the first 6 batters, that's what I should have said, have home runs. Ridgway, Olson, Allram, Hoff, and Peterson. Here is Alex Hoff at the plate. He had an RBI, the only RBI of the game, in the first inning. Swings and hits this one out to left center. That's going to drop for a hit, and it'll score at least 1. And coming around third, or stopping at third base, will be Slatke. Another RBI for Alex Hoff. Now batting for the Saints, number 8, Brody Allram. So Brody Allram at the plate now. Saints put another one across the board here. They now lead 2-0 in the third. Scoreboard is all wrong. Swing and a miss. So Alex Hoff at second, Slatke at third, Allram, no balls, 1 strike at the plate, and Kyle Olson on deck. Allram wanted that one and he held back, though. Hard to hold back on that outside pitch there, but he does. Finds himself in a 1-1 count. Christensen delivers. Allram follows it back. Brody has 14 RBI on the season, batting .571. His last at bat, he flew out to center field. 1 ball, 2 strikes now is the count. Christensen on the mound. Takes a look. Now delivers. In the dirt. Nice stop there by the catcher, number 2, Archer Chell. 2-2 now is the count. Allram hits it over to third base. Throw to first. Safe at first. He's got an injured player here. Fugate hurt himself on that one, unfortunately. Again, I think he's holding his arm. I'm not sure. He looks like he's going to stay in. Now batting for the Saints, number 2, Kyle Olson. Certainly not something anyone wants to see. But Fugate hurt his arm there. I think it was his arm. We'll see. Couldn't quite tell what he was holding there. Brody Allram over at first. Hoff at third. Allram goes. Throw down. Back to the pitcher. And everybody's safe. So 2 runners now in scoring position here for Kyle Olson. Fugate, a key piece of the Eagles' defense and offense over there at third base. Leading RBI hitter, leading average. Strike 2, Kyle takes in. So Christensen finds that outside corner for the second strike. Olson reached on a single his first at bat. Nobody out here so far. And Kyle hits it up, and it's going to go right where they're not. And that's going to score 2. Now batting for the Saints, number 23, Drake Peterson. So Drake Peterson now at the plate. Saints up 5-0. Olson over there at first. Drake swings through it, pulls his head a little bit, and then drops his head, realizing that he was just way out in front of that one. Elliott Wilson on deck for the Saints. Drake struck out his last at bat. Inside, ball 1. So 1-1 now is the count. Popped up. Uriah Fugate makes the catch at shortstop for out number 1. Now batting for the Saints, number 5, Elliott Wilson. So Wilson digs in, runner at first base. Runner goes. Throw down to second. Got him. So out as Kyle Olson thrown out. Nice throw there by Archer Chell. So 2 down now. Nice throw there by Chell, the catcher. So 2 outs now. Saints up 5-0. No balls, 1 strike is our count. Wilson pops it up. Fugate under it, makes the catch, and records the out, but not before the Saints put a couple more across. We're headed to the top of the 4th where the Saints lead 5-0. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Dakota Hayden at the plate for the Eagles. Slatke still out on the mound. Inside, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sorry about that. So full count here to Slatke. Slatke's got 6 strikeouts so far today. Hit over to Ridgway, throws to first in time for out number 1. Now batting, number 22, Henry Christensen. It's a nice play there by Ridgway. Makes a strong throw from shortstop over to Olson at first base for the out. So 1 out here. Saints lead 5-0, top half of the 5th. And that ball just didn't look right coming out of the hands of Slatke. Nearly got the strike, though, as Henry Christensen left that bat up in the air. And that ball was dangerously close to hitting that bat for a foul tip. But ball 1 is the count. 1-0. 1-1. Slatke finds that outside corner. It's been kind of his safety spot there. He's been able to hit that outside corner quite regularly here this afternoon. Inside, ball 2. Ball's hit up the middle off the glove of Sladkey over to first base. Ridgway puts away another one. Now batting, number 8, Bryson McKenzie. So that was a dangerous one there. Up the middle, Sladkey reached out his glove for it, did tip it. Thankfully, didn't slow it down too much. And Ridgway was able to make the play, throw over to first base. I know the pitcher always wants to make that play because it's just reaction when the ball's coming back at you. Sometimes the best thing to do is to let it go past you, knowing your defense is right back there. And that's what it was that time, as Ridgway is going to get this fly out, I think, too, if they don't collide. And Carson Marks as the ball goes off of his glove. So that allows McKenzie to check in at first base. Now batting number 31, Trapper Schlusner. So runner at first base. Another error for the Saints. Got to clean things up a bit. Carson Marks coming in from left field. Carson Marks called him off, and Ridgway did back away, but he didn't move out of the way, really. I think he was kind of found himself in the way of that one, and Marks couldn't get under it like he wanted to, I think, and the ball drops. So another error on the defense. Something the Saints are going to want to clean up for sure. Saints will be back in action on Friday night. They're headed to Spooner. Always a fun place to watch a game in Spooner. And then on Saturday, they'll be hosting Altoona. Ball's fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Schlusner flew out to shortstop. His last at bat, throw down to second base, isn't held on to, and so stolen base for McKenzie. 2-2 is the count here. Runner in scoring position. Just missed that corner on that one to make it 3-2. So 3-2, full count, 2 outs here. Runner at second base, top of the 4th. Sladkey just missed on that one. And ball 4, stolen base. Now batting, number 2, Archer Chell. So I don't know. I think that the Unity's coach was surprised at the stolen base there by Christensen. And it was just kind of a weird all around. I think he was going, it was 3-2, 2 outs, but he didn't have to go at second base. He could have been thrown out at third, and then no tag was applied. So we find ourselves first and third here. Chell is 1 for 2. Actually, I think that he reached on that error. So I think he's 0 for 2. But he's been on base once. Ball's hit over to first base and past the first baseman. That's going to score a run as Olsen was playing in and it just shot past him. Hard play over there at first on that one. Now batting, number 4, Brian Bance. So the Eagles put one across here in the top of the 4th and find themselves now trailing 5-1. Runners at first and second, 2 outs here. with Brian Bance at the plate for the Eagles. Bance is 0 for 2, reached on an error in the first, and then a fielder's choice in the second, or in the third, I'm sorry. Takes strike one. So one ball, or no balls, one strike is the count. Swing and a miss, strike two. Inside, ball three, or sorry, ball one. One ball, two strikes. We'll get there. Fall tip, stays alive. Swing and a miss, strike three. Slatke gets another strikeout, and we'll head to the bottom of the fourth, where the Saints lead 5-1.
At Burnett Medical Center, we celebrate all walks of life. From our very first steps to our sprinting strides, from on the job site to afterlife retirement. At BMC, we embrace every pair of feet that walks through our doors. Our comprehensive care knows no bounds. It's for the newborns, the professionals, the adventurers, and those who've traveled many miles. We're here to support you. Your journey is unique, and so is our approach to your well-being. Step into BMC, where comprehensive healthcare meets compassion. Burnett Medical Center, providing healthcare for all walks of life.
Christensen making his way back out to the mound here for the bottom of the fourth inning. Eagles able to put one across there in the top of the fourth, making it 5-1 now. Christensen wants to leave it that way. The Saints want to add to their lead. Good news is Fugate's back out there at third base, or still out there at third base, thrown over to first base. Looks like he's going to be okay. Leading off the fourth for the Saints, number 9, Devin Richardson. So Devin Richardson now comes to the plate for the Saints, leading him off. Richardson hit into a double play, his first at bat. Strike one on the inside corner. Hits it up the middle to Fugate. Throws to first. Scoop is made, and out is recorded. Good play by Fugate. Better play over there by Schleusner. Now batting for the Saints, number 1, Carson Marks. So Carson Marks comes to the plate now for the Saints. Carson struck out in the second inning, his only at bat. On deck will be Carter Ridgway for the Saints. Squares to bunt. Nice bunt. Right back to Christensen. Throws to first base. Not in time. So Marks, sneaky fast, gets on as a good leadoff hitter, second leadoff hitter does in that 9-hole. Now batting for the Saints, number 12, Carter Ridgway. So Carter Ridgway comes to the plate now after a nice bunt by Carson Marks. Uses that speed to get down that first base line. Really a beautiful bunt. Kind of hit it in no man's land. Christensen had to grab it and fire over to first, but not in time. Marks has a healthy lead over there at first. Now he has to go back as Christensen steps off. Try to let you know what he does over there. Archer Chell is 1 for 2 on throwouts. He threw out Kyle Olson last inning. Another bunt goes down. Throw over to first base in time this time. And that's going to bring up Sladkey. Now batting for the Saints, number 10, Brett Sladkey. So Sladkey comes to the plate now. 2 outs. Runner in scoring position. Ridgway couldn't quite get down the baseline. It's hard to control the speed of the bunt, but it got back to the pitcher pretty quickly, and doing a nice job was Christensen. Sladkey had a big swing on that one, and the smile on his face was even bigger as he looked to his dugout, realizing that he looked silly on that one. Down low, 1-1. Brett wasn't going to chase twice there. Alex Hoff on deck for the Saints. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Again, that varied velocity from Christensen has been very effective here today. When he's got control of that slow off speed, it's almost like adding an extra 5-6 miles an hour to your fastball because it just keeps the batters off balance. It's not that he has like just this overpowering fastball, but when you mix it together with that off speed stuff, it really makes it effective. Runner goes and fouled back. Tried to get Carson Marks on the move there, and Sladkey fouled it back. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Alex Hoff on deck for the Saints. Bottom of the 4th, Saints lead 5-1. Again, last time these two teams faced off, it was Saints 10-0 in 5 innings. Popped up. We'll see if it's in play or not. And it does drop out of play down there on the third base line. Carson Marks was in motion again on that one. Wind kind of blowing everything foul here. I think that one was going to be foul either way, but I think it maybe could have taken it out of play at least. Flag is pretty brisk out there. Runner goes again. Throw to third base, not in time, and that's going to allow Carson Marks to come home as he scampers in and scores. You never know. That's why you get him moving. And throw down to third base, bounced in front of Fugate, out into left field, and that allowed Carson Marks to scamper home for a run. Now that's going to go to shortstop. Nice play by Fugate. Throws over to first base in time. Nice play. And that's going to end the inning, but not before the Saints put one across and lead 6-1.
What if one donation could spark imagination, movement, and music? The Star Education Foundation empowers students in the St. Croix Falls School District by funding experiences and tools that go beyond the basics. From roller skates in the gym to calculators in the classroom and the joy of music with a grand piano. Even our playgrounds come to life thanks to Star. Help us keep making moments like these possible by donating today to become a star in a student's story. Donate now at starscf.org.
Well, a good job by the Saints as they put Carson Marks in motion out there and have him steal third base, and on an error on the throw allows him to scamper home and pick up that sixth run. Good thing, because the next pitch, Sladke hit a shot to shortstop, but Uriah Fugate snagged it at short and then made a nice throw all the way across the diamond to first base to record the out. Leading off the fifth for the Eagles, number 17, Uriah Fugate. So Uriah comes to the plate after making that great play out there at short. He leads off and takes strike one. There's that comfort zone there for Sladke. Hits that outside corner. Ball's hit out to second base. Elliott Wilson throws to first in time for out number one. Now batting for the Eagles, number 7, Isaiah Fugate. So that'll bring Isaiah Fugate to the plate here. I believe I heard that Justin Wynn was in the bullpen warming up for the Saints. Inside, ball one. There is that outside corner again. 1-1. Isaiah's got 4 home runs on the season. Swing and a miss, strike 2. He's batting .524 on the season. 18 RBI. Hits that one out to shortstop. Ridgway throws to first in time for out number 2. Now batting, number 9, Xavier Nadeau. Nadeau comes to the plate now for the Eagles. I was laughing because the bat boy was coming out to get the bat, and Brody Allram sprinted towards the plate to try to get the bat before the ball boy could. It was pretty funny. Up the middle and through. So that'll be a base hit for Xavier. Now batting number 6, Dakota Hayden. So runner at first base now for the Eagles. Getting into crunch time. Saints up 5 here. Eagles would love to get something going here with 2 outs. Hayden at the plate, throw over to first base. Skips past Kyle Olson. But he knocked it down, so Xavier wasn't able to advance to second base. Runner stays outside, ball 1. Swing off the umpire there. Foul tip. Allram gives the ump a little time here. One now is the count. Sladkey on the mound. Runner over there at first base is Xavier Nadeau. Hayden takes ball two up high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Inside, ball 3, 3-1 now. Outside corner, 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Runner will be moving here with the pitch. Runner goes, ball 4. Now batting number 22, Henry Christensen. So runners at second and third now. I'm sorry, first and second. I'm advancing everyone too far. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Christensen at the plate. He's 0 for 2, flew out to second base and grounded out to shortstop. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Popped up. Devin Richardson under it and makes the catch for out number 3. St. Croix Falls keeps Eagles off the board once again. And we are headed to the bottom of the 5th with the Saints leading 6-1. Once again, I want to thank our sponsors for making these broadcasts possible. And you'll see those sponsors scrolling across the bottom of the screen. We're so thankful for their sponsorship of Saints, or our We Are SCF, and our broadcasts of Saints sports here this year: football, volleyball, basketball, wrestling, baseball, softball, and those sponsors are what make that possible. We've even broadcast choir concerts, band concerts, veterans programs. It's been fun to be able to do all these broadcasts here this year. And as this school season comes to a close, we just want to say thank you to all those sponsors for making these broadcasts possible. I know that some grandmas and grandpas and others are able to tune in and watch when they otherwise wouldn't be. And we're thankful to be here and bring those games to you. Hopefully you've enjoyed this season. Hopefully you're enjoying today. Again, whether you're cheering on the Eagles, cheering on the Saints, it's been a great game here between these two close rivals. Lots of familiarity between both these two teams here this afternoon. Christensen back out here for the 5th for the Saints. He's done a nice job this afternoon. Alex Hoff's walk-up song is the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Gotta love it. Leading off this 5th for the Saints, number 3, Alex Hoff. Alex Hoff comes to the plate now for the Saints. Hoff is 2 for 2. Several RBI. Takes ball 1. I think his last hit was a single. I can't remember if it was a single or a double. I think it was just, it was a double. I think he has 2 doubles on the day. RBIs on each of them. 2 balls now. Brody Allram on deck for the Saints. Three balls, no strikes. Again, it's Brody Allram on deck. See what Alex does here. Has been known to swing on 3-0 if he gets his pitch. He does there, but he pops it into the parking lot. No cars damaged with that pitch. Alex would rather get a hit than walk. You know that. He's up there ready to swing. Hits it down the first base, but foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Christensen resets here. Full count to Alex Hoff. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. Fall back again into the parking lot. Dangerous place to have a car. And ball 4. Wasn't sure what the call was going to be there. Now batting for the Saints, number 8, Brody Allram. The umpire, with a left-handed batter there, it's hard. He asked for help from the first base ump, but he doesn't have much of a better view than the umpire does, and so no swing. So Hoff makes his way to first base, and Brody Allram takes strike 1. Maybe in a playoff game, you got umpires down both baselines. But from my vantage point here, I thought that Alex held off as well. So and I should say there was no complaint by the Eagles or the bench or anything like that, but it was just a very close play. Alex now goes to second base, slides in with a stolen base. Ball bounces off him, goes to center field, but no advancing. So stolen base for Alex Hoff is he was getting a good lead over there, so he had a good feel for Christensen, I think, and so he just decided to take off there. And I'm not saying it. I don't know if it was called or not, but he was able to slide in there. So runner in scoring position here. Brody Allram at the plate. Allram takes outside. I'm not sure how many pitches Christensen is at here. He's thrown quite a few here. He's got to be getting close to that 100 pitch mark. Line drive down the third baseline. Tell you what, nerves of steel of those ladies out there and sitting down the third baseline. They're behind the fence, but didn't even flinch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out here. It's the bottom half of the 5th inning. Saints up 6-1. Brody hits that one past the third baseman Fugate, and that's going to be where Alex Hoff checks in at third. Now batting for the Saints, number 2, Kyle Olson. So Kyle Olson now comes to the plate for the Saints. Runners at first and third. There's nobody out here. Drake Peterson on deck. Brody goes. Throw down to second. Not in time. So runners at second and third. So 2 runners in scoring position here. Ball was called a strike. So second and third here. Nobody out. It's nice for the Saints. They got 2 runners in scoring position. Nice for the Saints. They kind of eliminate the double play there, at least the traditional double play. Up high now, ball 1. 1-1. Nobody warming in the Eagles bullpen. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Ball 3. David Brown tuning in. And Joan Cederlin, thanks for tuning in. Glad you got to be our number 1 viewer, Joan. Glad to have you. Kyle Olson pops it up to center field. Should be deep enough to score a run. Catch is made. Alex Hoff checks in and scores a run. That'll bring up Drake Peterson. So nice job there by Kyle Olson getting the RBI. Now batting number 23, Drake Peterson. Drake hits it to shortstop. Fugate throws to first in time for out number 2. Now batting for the Saints, number 5, Elliott Wilson. So a courtesy runner comes in for Brody Allram. He's the catcher. So Jacoby Milky makes his way to third base and takes ball 1 is Elliott Wilson. So Kyle Olson drives in another one. So 7-1 now. Kyle gets a nice fly ball. We'll see who's at the Cam Munson, I think, is in the bullpen for the Eagles. Ball is hit to the shortstop. Fugate throws over to first base in time for out number 3. Run does not count. And we're headed to the 6th inning. So Justin Wynn on to pitch here for the Saints in the 6th inning. St. Croix Falls finds himself with a 6-run lead here in the 6th, 7-1. Justin Wynn brings that long, tall frame onto the mound. He's done a nice job in relief here for the Saints this year. He's played some at first base as well. Sports fans probably getting ready for Wild hockey here tonight. Playoff hockey. Good luck to the Wild. Great win last night by the Timberwolves. All right, we're ready to roll here. It is top of the 6th. Leading off, number 8, Bryson McKenzie. So Bryson McKenzie comes to the plate now for the Eagles. Trying to get things going. Justin Wynn winds, delivers. Strike 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Sladkey ended the game with 7 strikeouts. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Justin Wynn picks up his first strikeout of the day. Now batting number 31, Trapper Schlusner. So Trapper Schlusner will come to the plate now after McKenzie strikes out. Justin Wynn in the windup. Delivers strike 1, outside corner. I believe Brett Sladkey just went to the bench. He's inside ball 1. So Richardson's still over there at third base, I think. Yeah, Richardson's still over there at third base. So Sladkey just done for the day on the bench. Strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Schlusner, the first baseman for the Eagles, done a nice job on defense. Flew out to shortstop his first at bat. This is just his second at bat here for the day. Foul tip. Can't hold on, or Brody couldn't hold on to it. So 2-2 is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, Cam Munson, the freshman in the bullpen. As Schlusner gets hit, that's going to turn the order over. That'll bring up number 2. Now batting, number 2, Archer Chell. So Archer Chell will come to the plate now. Runner on. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Chell, the catcher this afternoon, struck out in his first at bat, got on in his second at bat, and now fouls it back to the backstop. Chell, just a freshman. Several freshmen out there for the Eagles. Bright future for these guys. They've played well. Popped up. Should still be in play. Brody makes the catch. Out number 2. Now batting number 4, Brian Bantz. So Bance, the lefty, takes ball 1 on the outside. Runner over there at first base still is Schlusner. Try to keep an eye on him for you over there. Swing and a miss. Bance. Big cut. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Foul tip in the dirt. Stays alive with a 1-2 count. Stays alive again. 1-2 count still. Outside 2-2. Throw down, not in time. Popped up. And Wynn makes the catch. And that'll be the end of the top of the 6th. Saints coming up here. With a 7-1 lead. Headed to the bottom of the 6th. It's going to be Devin Richardson, Carson Marks, and now pitching for the Eagles, number 25, Cam Monson. So Cam Monson on the mound for the Saints. I'm sorry, for the Eagles. Leading off the 6th for the Saints, number 9, Devin Richardson. So Devin Richardson now steps in, hitting left-handed here. Saints up 7-1. Takes inside, ball one. Cam Munson again on the mound for the Eagles. It's a freshman. Foul ball. Off the Porta Johns over there. Be a surprise if you're sitting in there. It's a good place to get scared, I guess. Cam Munson now. 1-1 is the count. 1-2 as he bends in the strike there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's first left-handed at bat here for Richardson. He hit right-handed his last at bats. Now takes ball 2. 2-2 now is the count. Up high, ball 3. So 3 balls, 2 strikes now to the leadoff hitter. Carson Marks on deck. Ball 4. So a runner at first base now. Now batting for the Saints, number 1, Carson Marks. So Carson Marks comes to the plate now. Nobody out, 1 on. Had a really nice bunt single down the third baseline his last at bat. Richardson checks in at first. Swing and a foul tip. Strike 1. So 1 ball, no balls, 1 strike. Missed on the curveball, just missed on that one. 1-1. Carson did square to bunt there, but pulled back. Maybe just trying to get Fugate to come in. No, he does bunt, but pops that one backwards. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wasn't sure if he was just trying to bait Fugate to come in at third base to get in a little closer. But he did try to drop one down there. And now everyone can go back to their normal positions with 2 strikes. The bunt almost certainly off the table now. Monson's pitch. Up high, ball 2. 2-2 now is the count. Swing and a miss. He got him. That was for strike 1, or out number 1. Now batting, number 12, Carter Ridgway. So Ridgway comes to the plate now for the Saints. Ridgway takes up high, ball 1. Ridgway flew out to center, singled and scored in the third, and then bunted and advanced the runner to second, but was thrown out at first on a close play. Up high, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Ridgway hits it out to center field. Bance. Oh, it goes off of his glove. And that's going to allow them to check in. That allows Ridgeway to go to second and Devin Richardson to go to third. See what they're going to do here, if they're going to switch up pitchers or not. Visit to the mound here. Justin Wynn is on deck, or up to the plate for the Saints. This will be his first at bat this afternoon. 2 runners in scoring position. Monson's going to stay out there. Now batting for the Saints, number 20, Justin Wynn. Justin Wynn at the plate now. 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 7-1 is our score. Wynn digs in, takes ball 1 down low. Strike 1 now. The low spot of the strike zone. 1-1. Ridgeway out there at second. Justin Wynn hits it deep down the no cars, just past the back end of the cars. And Justin strikes out. Now pitching for the Eagles, number 12, William Olson. So it'll be Alex Hoff coming to the plate for the Saints, and it's William Olson, the left-hander, on the mound for the Eagles. Definitely a deliberate delivery. Again, Saints will be back in action on Friday night at Spooner, and then Saturday at 1 o'clock here in St. Croix Falls against Altoona. So head to Spooner and watch that conference matchup, and then come here on Saturday and watch the non-conference matchup between the Saints and Altoona. Now batting for the Saints, number 3, Alex Hoff. Alex Hoff comes to the plate now for the Saints. Alex hits it past the diving shortstop, and that'll score Ridgway. And then here comes Richardson and Ridgway. I'm sorry. Ridgway comes across now as well, second to score. Now batting for the Saints, number 8, Brody Allram. So Brody Allram comes to the plate now. More RBI for Alex Hoff. So he just keeps them coming. Allram, 2 for 3 today. Foul tip. Allram would like to end this game with a home run, I'm sure. Saints would just use a single here. Alex, a healthy lead over there at first. Olson looks at him, now delivers. Outside, throw back to first, not in time. William Olson again out there on the mound. He's the left-hander. 1-1 is the count. 2 outs here, bottom of the 6th. Throw over to first base, not in time. Swing and a foul tip. 1-2. Big swing by Brody there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. William Olson trying to get out of this inning here. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Saints up 9-1. Inside, ball 3. Kyle Olson on deck for the Saints. Runner goes and a hit. Oh, nice job by Fugate as he knocks it down. Throws to first. And they got him. What a play by Isaiah Fugate. Knocked down the ball and then threw a strike over to first base. The play of the game for sure. What a play by the third baseman. And a nice pick over there at first as well. But not before the Saints put a couple across. We're headed to the top of the 7th where the Saints lead 9-1. Alex Hoff making his way to the mound to get the close here. Left hand fires it over Brody's head. Jacoby Milkey out in center field. Saints 3 outs away from victory number 11 on the season, trying to move to 11-1. Unity would drop to 6-7. It's going to be the Fugate brothers coming up, as well as Xavier Nadeau. Leading off the 7th for the Eagles, number 17, Uriah Fugate. So Uriah Fugate comes to the plate now for the Eagles. Alex Hoff on the mound. Senior delivers ball 1. Fugate fouls it back into the track. Strike 1. Uriah Fugate pops it up. And the Kyle Olson makes the catch. Now batting, number 7, Isaiah Fugate. Ball 1. Strike 1. 1-1 now is the count. And the ball is hit over to Wilson. Wilson fires over to first base in time for out number 2. Now batting, number 9, Xavier Nadeau. So Hoff trying to get 3 outs here. Fires in with strike 1. Nadeau struck out twice and had a single. Ball 1, 1-1 now is the count. Again, this is the second time these two teams have faced off, so they won't see each other again, at least in the regular season. Play over at third base. Richardson throws across. Olson picks it, and that's going to be the end of it. And St. Croix Falls is going to pick up the victory here in St. Croix Falls, where they're going to take the 9-1 victory over the Eagles. Good luck to the Eagles for the rest of the season and as they head into the playoffs. And St. Croix Falls will be back in action on Friday night at Spooner, and then they will be hosting Altoona on Saturday here in St. Croix Falls. Thanks for tuning. Again, whether you're cheering on the Eagles or the Saints, we're glad you joined us here tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the competition And as these two teams make their way off the field, we make our way to the rest of the week. Again, thanks for tuning in and watching. This has been Chris with Saints, or We Are SCF. This is Saints Baseball. Go Saints.